You are listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Leah.
Hi.
Oh, by the way, I'm Brandon.
I'm Leah. And we are so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode.
What are you laughing about?
I'm tripping over everything I say today.
Because you're so silly.
Literally everything. So today we are going to be discussing the unsolved murder case of the Atlas vampire.
And then we're pairing that also with a New Holland Brewing Company Dragon's Milk Stout. This is the stout that we picked up when we were in Florida because we got tired of going to the beach. Well, I got tired of going to the beach and being so damn hot.
That was the only thing that made it suck to go to the beach, is that it was so hot.
Freaking hot. And all you do in this town is go to the beach and drink and eat and
ride bikes.
And
we're bitching about a vacation that sounds amazing to everybody.
We picked this up thinking we were going to drink a lot, and I drank one out of the 4-pack. And we brought this back. So that's what we're doing today, our first stout review. And we picked a good one. So we're going straight into...
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I think it'll be good.
I just realized I didn't bring glasses up here.
We don't need glasses. It's a stout. What color is it going to be? I mean,
True.
Yeah.
Gotta look at that body, though.
You got to look at the body. Inside joke. So, let's see. This is a stout, a bourbon barrel aged stout, 11%. If anybody cares about bitterness, it registers around 30 IBU. Serving temperature is about 40 to 50 degrees, which is probably there now. We've been sitting out for a little bit, and we're going straight from the bottle. I think it only comes in bottles. I don't know.
I've only ever seen it in a bottle.
But what New Holland says is, through the ages, the term dragon's milk has been used to describe potent ales and elixirs worthy of celebration, a reward at the end of the journey. We are proud to be stewards of that ancient tradition today, handcrafting each batch. The Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout in Holland, Michigan. The best liquid in our house is now yours. And it says, roasted malts deliver notes of coffee and chocolate, which are married with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from a 3-month stay in bourbon barrels. The result is a truly legendary blend of flavor. So we need to open these.
You are amazing at enunciating everything you say.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Did you hear everything you just said?
Can we? You do yours first. You open yours first.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a gentleman. I can't, and because I tried to twist mine off first and it didn't work.
Knowing me, something's going to happen or fly across the room. Ooh, it didn't.
Did you get any smoke off of the bottle? Any smoke?
No. Not even a little bit.
I don't even know if I got smoke on mine. Let me check and see if I can.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Get a little smoke.
A tiny bit. Oh, it smells so
I got
good.
A little smoke.
It smells so good.
It smells so nice.
Well, you know what? The entire time that we were there, I didn't have one of these.
I was surprised. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a sniff straight from the bottle, by the way. Like you said, let's go. Oh.
Oh my God, you stuck that almost completely up your nose.
You get bourbon.
And then you're going to stick it in your mouth.
You do get the bourbon barrel. Oaky, vanilla, roasty. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like chocolate milk in bourbon barrels.
It smells like so many different beers that I really, really like.
It smells
so many different stouts.
It smells so nice.
I was hardcore on stouts for a really long time.
You were. You're so.
And now,
you're crazy.
Well, and now, I don't hardly ever drink them. I think.
Well, it's also hot outside too, so.
I seriously think the last time I had one was when we drank that Big Bad Baptist in February, and I haven't had one since then.
Yeah, and it's hot.
Oh, well, that's not true.
It's hot outside, so it's typically not the good type of weather to be drinking stouts. But Founders has an breakfast stout. Mm-hmm. Really good. Really, it's low alcohol, easy to drink. And there's some a few good local ones too. We actually had that one from Siren Rock.
Siren Rock is bomb.
They have one that
like,
is...
That is a top stout for me.
Chocolate? Is it a chocolate stout?
It's a chocolate milk stout.
But it's like 5%. It's low alcohol.
I wish I could remember what it's called, but it's really good. That's like what I prefer when I go there, actually. No matter what the weather is outside.
Well, we're talking about New Holland Brewery, though.
Well, true.
But that was good. So this is a higher alcohol stout, and we're just going to drink it. It's not typical weather for... Everybody's different, whatever. You drink what you want to drink. So let's give it we gave it a sniff.
It's 11%.
And we're going to give it a taste now. We're going to drink it. Here we go. It's definitely warmed up. Oh, it's so good.
It is good, but man, is that strong. That is good.
Coffee and chocolate. You get straight up oak and vanilla from the barrel. And you get that... This does not taste like an 11% beer. It's good, but it's not like...
I think it does.
You taste a bourbon barrel, but I don't taste like the fusel alcohols. I don't get overly whelming, that rubbing alcohol taste. I don't get that.
I get it a tiny, tiny bit. I can taste that this is a high alcohol beer for sure. Which isn't a bad thing. I prefer it with stouts more than I do any other high alcohol style of beer. Like Imperial IPAs, I don't like when those are real burning alcohol flavor. I don't like that. But with stouts, I kind of prefer it.
This is really good. 3 months, huh? It's good stuff.
3 months.
3 months in barrel, 11%. Oh. This could hit you pretty hard. This could go... That was so airy. That was weird.
That was absolutely disgusting.
So, I don't know. New Holland Dragon's Milk, 11% bourbon barrel aged stout. I like it. I like it a lot.
This is one that I would buy in the winter.
Damn sure. Yeah, like it comes in a 4-pack. And when it's cold outside, you can polish 2 of these off easy.
Well, I talk to you about this all the time. Well, I talk to everybody about this that I talk to about beer, but it gets really old buying and trying different breweries stouts that are seriously so sweet. It's like sickening.
Yeah, and this is...
they try so hard to make it taste like a brownie or for it to taste like, chocolate cake or whatever, and it's so sweet. It seriously makes my teeth hurt sometimes.
And you just want to just give me a beer. I probably said that last time. Just give me a beer. Like, we just got Yingling in Texas, and while that's not like the greatest beer in the world, and when it's really hot, It's so easy to drink, it's nice for what it is.
I've graduated to old man status for real when it comes to beer, because I prefer sometimes to just have something like that.
Give us a fucking Tecate, right?
Oh,
yes. To give us if it's hot outside, give us a cerveza. It's just not a watered down cerveza is perfect. When we were drinking in Florida.
Oh my God!
Excuse me, no charge for that.
You could be polite.
That from somebody else. But it's almost like we're starting to get to where we prefer lower alcohol beers because you can enjoy more of them without getting totally shit-faced.
You know what always sounds good, even though this isn't a stout? A Tecate with some Tex-Mex. Oh,
Tex-Mex food and Tecate.
That is heaven.
A squeeze of lime and a little salt. Not much. Oh, God, that's so good. Damn, you okay? Damn, you okay, Leah? My God. I'm using Leah's words to me. Everything is, damn, you okay? Or, oh, my God. Yeah. Love is in the air.
Yeah, you don't sound like you're tired of me at all.
Damn, you okay? You can probably...
You know what's terrible is you're saying it like that. You make me sound like I say it like a smoker. My God.
You should go back, probably listen to a few of our podcasts. And when I'm going... Like, when I really love a beer, I'm like, oh, my God. You go, damn, you okay?
I don't say it like that.
You do, too.
I don't say it in this
What it sounds like to me when you make fun of me all the time. Damn, you okay? All the time. All you do is make fun of me.
I don't say it in this low, gruff voice like I've been smoking for 4 years.
That's what it feels like when you say it. That's what it feels like. But anyway.
Oh, my God. I had to catch my breath. That made me laugh so hard.
Damn, you okay? God. Oh,
gosh,
shit.
That's funny.
So
Okay, I guess we shouldn't be laughing this hard though, because what we're talking about isn't really funny at all.
none of them are funny. But
Well, no, none of them are funny. Movies are funny sometimes, but not true crime cases. But we are going to be
I
talking.
think didn't you say something about doing a movie next time?
Well, not necessarily the movie, but the case from that movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Isn't that like a true thing?
It is a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll.
Probably should
My
have
mic
been.
stands.
That probably should have been a comment, a little bit toward the end, Brandon.
Oh, sorry. Well, we can still make the comment
I'm
at the
just
end.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
My mic's trying to fall over.
But we are going to be talking about the case of the Atlas vampire. This was a new case to me. I don't know. It may be well known for true crime enthusiasts. I had not heard of it before. But essentially what the case is about is this young... What?
My mic keeps acting like it wants to fall over. Is it?
Oh my God, is it a ghost?
What were you saying?
I can't even say
Go back. There's nothing to say. Okay. Is that what 11%?
You need to stop saying that, because every time you say it, it's making me laugh. So basically what the case is about is this young woman who was a sex worker. She was a prostitute. She was murdered by an unknown assailant, and they never found him. And this happened in Stockholm, Sweden. That's what, I guess that's what it feels like when you're talking about it. Like very anticipation.
What are you talking about? Anticipation?
I don't know.
You really have no idea what you're talking about when you said anticipation?
I do, but I don't know how to explain it because it sounded one way in my head. But if I say it to you, it doesn't make sense.
I have no clue what to say right now. What are you talking about?
You're going...
I'm a heavy breather.
It just feels... Oh, I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I was, but it's still... I don't know why
It feels... It makes the story feel very like...
I've done videos.
You know what I mean?
And it's like, when I do try to shoot a video, you hear me breathing. I'm a heavy breather for some reason. It's not embarrassing at all.
You don't breathe like that.
I feel like I do.
Whatever. So, on May 4th, 1932, in Stockholm, Sweden, a woman named Minnie Jansen, who in original documents that I have looked at before, I guess like in the U.S. or in English, they translate her name to Minnie for some reason.
Like Emma's and Mary, Minnie.
But her name is it's Minnie is how
gotcha.
English documents translate it, but her name in original ones is Mimi or Mimi, something like that. But she ended up going to police because she had not heard from her friend Lily Lindestrom. Is that how you say that? The O?
Lindestrom?
She hadn't heard from her for several days, and this was unusual because they lived in the same building together.
She was one floor down from her.
Yes, and this happened in the Atlas neighborhood of Stockholm, and they looked after each other, so it was really unusual. Why are you looking at me like that? It was really unusual for her to not hear from her.
You didn't even catch on the fact that I knew exactly which floor she lived on.
What do you mean?
She lived on the second floor. Her friend was on the first.
What do you mean I didn't catch on to that? I knew that.
You knew that. How did you know that I knew that?
Well, you probably fucking read through it.
I just got that printed document. You just handed me the notes, 10 minutes ago?
What are you, psychic?
Yes.
It would have taken you 10 minutes to read through this. That's
ESP.
like a long time. Well, anyway, and so they lived in the Atlas neighborhood of Stockholm, and they looked after each other, so it was really unusual for either one of them to not hear from the other, especially for several days.
Yeah, they had to look after each other because they were both night workers.
I didn't know her friend was. Oh, well, yeah, I guess that does make sense
They
because
were.
a little bit later on in the case, that kind of is an indication. But when the police went to Lily's apartment for a welfare check, they found that she had been dead for a few days. She was 32 at the time, and she was laying dead on the left side of her ottoman, and her head was rested on her left arm. Are you going to act this out?
Yeah, as Leah's describing it, I'm telling her ahead of time. Yeah, she was laying face down with her head on her left arm.
Blood had dripped onto the floor from a large wound on the right side of her head.
But not much blood.
No.
A few drops.
They ended up finding, I did read this. I've read two different things. So I've read that she had a ladle covered in blood laying next to her, but then another place I read, it said they found it in the sink.
It was in the sink.
Well, just you weren't there. You don't know. There's speculation, I guess. Let's just put it that way. Nobody knows for sure. But that was like it. There was no hair. There was no murder weapon. There was nothing indicating who this could have been that did this to her.
They had actually thought that maybe it was a police officer because of the fact that the crime scene was so cleaned up.
I can't even take you seriously.
Why?
Because you're giving me these like, I'm so smart looks.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
It's just funny.
So do a welfare check.
Going.
They think, and also before any of this stuff happened, they think that it could have been a drifter, but she was getting phone calls before all this stuff happened asking if her name was so-and-so because she had an ad in the paper.
Yes.
And, is your name such and such? And she said yes. It sounded kind of weird. Then they'd hang up on her. And that was 2 days before she disappeared.
So that was the brief overview of the case. But why are you looking at me like that?
What are you laughing about?
Because you're making me laugh.
Because you're so belly. You are so belly.
A little bit of background on the victim.
I ruined it. I'm sorry.
What?
I ruined the background part. I'm talking about this and you hadn't even gotten to that part yet.
No.
I'm sorry. It's the 11%.
Why don't you
shut the fucking mouth?
Let me talk. No, I'm just kidding.
Am I talking over you a lot?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was kidding. No, say whatever you want to say. I mean, it's a discussion. But
when they were looking at the okay, go ahead.
I think this was the worst beer we could have picked for this.
It's really good, though.
It is good.
It's nice.
Okay.
It's a very nice beer. I like it a lot.
But anyway, to the background of the victim, she...
Well, Lily's... okay,
I will
stop.
come over there and absolutely kick your ass
I'll stop.
if you say something else while I'm talking.
I will stop.
Are you sure?
I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. So due to the harsh aftermath of the Great Depression, Lily was forced to find another means of income after she got divorced when she was 22. This led to her involvement in prostitution beginning in April of 1931. She had moved
I could imagine after the Great Depression, like, if I say it, it's going to sound so insensitive.
We'll say it.
Like, how cheap was she doing this stuff for? You know what I mean? Like, this is the aftermath of the Depression.
Probably.
Okay.
I mean,
that's the only way she found that she could make a living is being a prostitute, and I'm sure it wasn't for very much.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of women that do it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you can make money pretty easily doing that. But she had moved to Stockholm when she was 22 after a quickly dissolved marriage. And I guess she befriended what?
I forgot about that part. I was going to say something.
Say something. What were you going to say?
They said it could have. They didn't rule out the fact that it could have been her husband because he was never interviewed after her death.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's when I saw the dissolved marriage. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that part.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they don't know. It could have been him, but they don't know. Okay.
But, I mean, I guess nothing really happened when she got to Stockholm. She kind of just, like, made friends and got involved in prostitution and everything.
Oh, she made friends. Many friends.
You were so bad. On the evening of April 30th, 1932, Lily went and paid her rent to her landlords and then went to her apartment to meet a client. That sounds so official.
It is. It is.
I mean, I guess what else would you call it? A meetup?
A John? What would you call it? I'm meeting up with my John. And why do they call them Johns anyway? Why aren't they like Dexters or
Dexters?
Charleses.
Charles.
Yeah. She's with her Charles.
I didn't think it was called a John. I thought it was called a Johnson.
No, a John is like their trick. Like a John.
What?
A prostitute's trick is a John.
What do you mean? What trick?
Why are you staring?
Because I don't know
a John is somebody that pays a prostitute for sex. They call them Johns.
Why do you know that?
I watch TV.
Okay, I watch TV too, and I've never heard that.
Well, now you do. They're called Johns.
Should I be a little bit worried? Like, you seem to know a lot about
I've got
this.
a little bit more wisdom and some years on you. It's okay.
Well, I hope not in that way.
You don't know.
That's not funny.
What?
That's really not funny.
What?
As I'm laughing.
I'm pretty sure. I bet 95% of anybody that's listening knows what a John is.
I don't know about that.
All right.
But anyway, she frequently met her clients at her house. You know, we're getting so off topic. People probably can't follow this. But you know, that reminds me of when you make that sound.
What, Jay? That.
Ron.
Oh, yeah, he did do that. Yeah. That's how you knew he was drunk when he did that.
Yeah.
There's Ron.
God, I miss Ron. But police never ended up finding out who this person was, just that he had made contact with her days prior by calling her. And the only reason they knew that is because her friend was there and they were like hanging out in her apartment when that happened.
I wonder why they didn't trace it back. I'm joking.
I don't know.
It's in the 30s. They didn't trace anything back like that. I didn't think.
They could trace stuff back like that.
They couldn't do DNA and stuff.
Well, no, not DNA, but they could trace like phone calls. I'm pretty sure because they were doing that to like gangsters and stuff back then.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I knew that. You know why I knew that?
Because you're old.
Yes,
Your wisdom?
my old years of 26. No, because I watched a John Dillinger movie that had Johnny Depp in it, and that's how I know that. You know,
Oh, well, that's obviously true.
Facts.
That's obviously true.
But her friend Minnie had told investigators that Lily knocked on her door that same night that she had received, I guess, the phone call that she was in the apartment for, to borrow a condom, but then returned a short while later for a second one when the first condom broke. What?
Fish skins.
What?
Fish skin?
Is that what you call that?
I think that's what they made them out of back then.
Ew, are you for real?
I think so.
That is disgusting.
I think so. And somebody can fact check this. We're going to be all wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But I think...
this is going to be like some drunk...
sheepskins or fish skin.
This is probably like... kind of like drunk history. Drunk true crime. Where we hear a story and then we go through it while we're drinking.
I just finished mine.
But anyway, both times that she had arrived at Minnie's door, she had nothing on except a coat. Like, she was completely nude. And it's like, how do you know? Did she, like, not even bother to close the coat? I kept thinking...
Make yourself laugh.
I kept thinking that when I read that the other day, and I was just like, she didn't... How do you know that she was naked? And what kind of coat was it? Was it just like a waistcoat?
I'm pretty sure like a trench coat type thing, right?
I would hope.
What do they call them?
Otherwise, all her shit's hanging out.
I hope her shit's not hanging out of a coat.
No, I'm saying if it was just a coat that like came down to her waist or something.
I was about to say, God. She need tube socks instead of a coat. Tube socks for a bra.
Please stop. No, for her bra or for something else.
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting gross. We need to stop. Okay, but she had told her friend Minnie that the guy that she was seeing in her apartment and that she was breaking condoms with, apparently, that he was the one that had called her on the phone days prior when she was in the apartment.
Because he was rough.
I mean, I guess.
They were saying that apparently this guy was probably really rough. And they think that what happened was he was like being so brutal and rough with her that he probably accidentally killed her. But they don't know.
What? Mm-hmm. I think that's a really... I don't know about that theory because, I mean, he ended up like drinking her blood.
Well, yeah. But they think the guy that had that infatuation with blood too, but that's the start of the whole thing was the fact that he probably liked really, really rough sex and killed her in the process of probably choking her or whatever. Oh, well,
okay. Anyway, that he was the same guy that she was entertaining in her apartment that night, but this was the last time that Lily was seen alive by anybody. And, I mean, what a way to be seen alive for the last time. Like, you know, walking around your apartment nude.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it. I've never done that.
Everybody takes showers nude.
Yes, but you don't walk around in public nude. She's in her apartment building. Like, she went down a stairway and everything to get to this other girl's apartment.
Oh.
Well, anyway, Minnie had checked on her the next day, but she did not answer the door. So she
thought she was with a John.
No, no.
She thought she was entertaining
thought
a
that she thought that she was at this festival thing called Walpurgis Night, which is some kind of spring celebration. Celebration observed on May 1st and known for its carnival-like atmosphere. They had planned to go to this festival together, but that never ended up happening, so she decided to go to the police on May 4th when she did not hear from Lily after those next few days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's that. This is hurting. Hold on.
But because Lily's death was considered suspicious, investigators called on a physician to do an autopsy. The physician determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. The fatal wound was on the right side of her head that extended from her temple to her neck. Jesus, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Blunt force trauma.
It was thought that the killer struck her from behind with a heavy round object like a pipe.
See, that's what they're probably thinking it has to do with they liked rough sex and he was behind her.
A pipe?
And he really liked
Who brings a pipe to the party? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they think
the no pants party.
Is it a pants party? What was his name?
A no pants party.
What was the guy's name in Anchorman? What was it?
Ron Burgundy?
No, the other one, the one that's talking about.
I hate that movie. I don't know.
Do you want to go to the party? Are you invited to the party? Is it a pants party?
No pants party.
No pants party.
Or a party for two. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Party for two sounds classier.
Brick Tamlin. That's what it was. Brick Tamlin. Okay.
I don't like that movie. I don't.
It's classic.
I've seen it maybe
classic.
3 times.
Beautiful movie.
But anyway, it was during the exam that the physician found one of the borrowed condoms between her legs. Ew.
Yeah, used condoms. So these days they could track that back to DNA. Back then they couldn't.
True.
That's the thing. He would have been caught if he did that today.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. He left condom saliva on her.
But you would even think back then they still could have figured it out.
How?
I don't know. Well, I always think of those things that you say, like the government knows like this many years in the future of.
I think back then it was a little bit
what
different.
Technology is. Oh.
Yeah.
Until we find out about it. Okay. Well, anyway, the police assumed that the killer had tasted some of Lily's blood because there was a blood-covered ladle, like I had mentioned earlier, in the sink. Because of this, the murderer became known as the Atlas Vampire. The suspect was named for the neighborhood in which the attacks occurred, and the murderer suspected sanguine compulsion. Ew.
Yep. So they thought that, and the fact that they didn't find that much blood at the scene. Her body didn't have much blood either. The fact they thought that he used that ladle to drink her blood. The fact that there blunt force trauma to her head and there wasn't that much blood on the ground makes them think that he's drank a lot of her blood. Well,
allegedly he drained all or most, if not all, of her blood. That is fucking gross. How do you even get all the blood out of somebody? Unless you have like some kind of like draining supplies, like from a funeral home or some shit.
Yep, and that's when they're
disgusting.
they're looking around and seeing that her clothes were still folded on the chair. She was on the bed, but nothing was missing. And was it Lily, her friend Lily?
Her name is Lily.
You know what I think of every time I hear the name Lily?
The Danish girl.
Yes.
I know.
God.
When I read this, I knew that you were going to think about that.
Lily.
Phenomenal movie, by the way.
What was his man name? Einar?
Einar Vayner.
Einar. But her name was Lily.
I think it's a great movie.
And she does that eye blinking thing.
I don't think.
And every time I see a movie that he does, I can't stop thinking about that movie.
I know.
He is and will always be Lily now.
Yeah, I know. He was so good in that movie, though.
He ruined it for everybody in a good way. He was convincing.
Yes, he was convincing. He very much embodied that character for sure. But back on topic.
Sorry, again.
Back on topic, but I was going to be very shocked if you did not bring that up because I knew you would.
Gosh, I'm so predictable.
Yeah.
So yeah, they think that it was like a police officer or something. There was nothing missing. Lily went in there and said, "Yeah, everything's as it was. It's nothing missing. Everything's in place. No struggle. No anything."
They did not find fingerprints. There was no hairs, no cigarettes, nothing. They didn't find anything like anybody had been in that apartment other than the fact that she was dead and then there was that stuff in the sink.
Yep, it was very clean.
And anyway, so the investigators ended up collecting evidence from her body, including hair and nail clippings. And the Stockholm Police Museum has these samples along with wrappers from the condoms she borrowed from her friend and crime scene drawings. They never ended up charging anybody for the murder of Lily Lindstrom, and the case eventually went cold and just became an unsolved case.
What made you choose this one?
I was actually just kind of looking around because I'm always trying to find something to talk about for this podcast, and I came across that, and I was like, dude, that is so interesting. Well, because we haven't done an unsolved case before. Everything we talk about, if it's a true crime case, it always ends up with somebody, going to prison or something or getting executed or something like that. And I was like, well, that's a really interesting unsolved case because that's pretty brutal. It almost sounds like some kind of Jack the Ripper shit.
Yeah. And they're saying that the drinking blood thing is actually kind of not common, but there's a lot of people that have this fascination called Reinfeld syndrome.
Yes. So
clinical vampirism is rarely described as it usually formed parts of more conventional psychiatric diagnosis such as schizophrenia, paraphilia, not paraphernalia, paraphilia.
Paraphernalia.
Yeah. Schizophrenia or paraphernalia. God. A majority of these with the condition are seemingly able to control their desires and have sought adequate treatment. Several serial killers have utilized blood drinking in their modus operandi, including notorious Peter Curtin and Richard Chase.
Yeah.
And I don't know those guys either. Who are they? Serial killers, obviously, that drink blood.
Yes, and there's another one. I totally forgot his name, but he's like a really famous one, and I think
Ted Bundy.
No, he's not he didn't drink people's blood.
What was he famous for? I thought he ate people or drank their blood or something.
Ted Bundy? That's Jeffrey Dahmer.
What did Ted Bundy do?
Ted Bundy's the guy that was like pretending like he was hurt and shit, and he was kidnapping women, and then he would just kill him, and he was living with that other woman and her daughter.
Okay. I guess the other guy was Al Capone or something.
Al Capone? The gangster?
He's a gangster.
Okay, I don't think Al Capone did anything like that.
You don't know?
I know.
You don't know.
I do know. He ended up going to prison for like tax evasion out of all the gangster
They can't find him. What do you think?
What?
Al Capone disappeared.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not. He died. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Talking about like 20 different people.
I'm talking about the murder case.
Al Capone went to
for real,
Alcatraz.
but who's the guy that went missing? Who was the gangster? Or was it a gangster?
That went missing?
Yeah, they couldn't find him. They thought maybe they buried his body in like
Oh. I know who you're talking about. Oh, what is his name?
That's what I thought.
I do know who you're talking
Al
about.
Capone.
No.
I'm joking.
And they think he's buried underneath like a baseball stadium or something. Jimmy Hoffa, yeah.
Yeah. He drank blood too.
No, he did not. You're just pulling so much shit out of your ass. You don't need
to sell your ass.
Whatever. Well, anyway.
I drank my entire bottle of New Holland.
Hey, I've drank half of it.
Which is way more than you usually drink, by the way.
That is not true.
You usually...
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes. Damn, you okay? Jesus Christ.
But anyway, that was the case of the Atlas Vampire.
That was like a 35-minute podcast. That was pretty quick.
Well, I mean, it was an unsolved case. I mean, there's only so much that you can talk about. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
The case is what it is. It is what it is. But that was Atlas Vampire paired with New Holland Brewing Company's Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout.
We hope if you had enjoyed this episode of Booze and Bloodshed, please follow us on... Where do they go to follow us at?
You sound like the announcer from like when ABC Family was ABC Family before Freeform. Well, anyway, You can follow us on Instagram at Booze and Bloodshed. Email us on Gmail at boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com.
You said the email address this time.
I did. I never say that.
Here's the Philly.
boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can listen to us Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Actually,
YouTube.
if you Google Booze and Bloodshed, it'll pop up like all these other places we're at now.
Oh, good. I didn't know that.
It goes like everywhere.
You're the technical side, so
We're fucking cool.
you're the technical side, so I did not know that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see y'all next week.
From the Booze and Bloodshed Studios. See you later.
Peace.